Hello and welcome to OWXL League Season 3 Week 5. We are on Kings Row. We have a rival tier game on this fantastic Friday between Revenant, Gynos, and Revenant. I'm your host, Salt-N-Pepper, and excited to bring this game to you tonight. All to play for here. Revenant sitting kind of nestled into the rivals here at 2-2 with only one actual win. That one came off forfeit, so coming in essentially 1-2, but still getting the win over bottom of the table, beats by Lucio. And looking to climb ever further up to the upper echelons, the top 4 teams kind of pulling away a little bit, so wanting to stay in that pack. Revenant Gynos, on the other hand, coming in and actually played their first game of the season last week because they replaced a team that was dropped to forfeiture. So they have an 0-4 record, but they lost to Daddyland, who is in second place right now, so it could have been a tough game for them, but they've only actually lost one game, so both these teams may be a little bit closer than the standings would lead you to believe. So excited to get this going. Both teams are actually in the lobby, ready to go. So we'll get the game started for you in just a second. Again, if you are just joining us, the format for this year, or the season, honestly, I think I do that every single time. For this season is to all teams and all tiers will start on the same map. This time it's Kings Row, and the loser of this game will pick in a best of 3 series. So, yeah. Looks like we actually had somebody leave the lobby while we're in the middle of the intro here, but that's alright. Make sure we get them back in, and hopefully that's not an issue throughout the game that could be difficult to contend with. But for the time being, again, the rival tier, I think this is the first game from that tier on the stream this week. I take that back, actually Daddyland played earlier in the week, I believe getting the win over Spicy Boys. Or rather, I think the Spicy Boys got the win over them. Bit of an upset there, and Winky faced an opportunity to pull away, facing bottom place. Beats by Lucio at 0-4 with just a single map win. So Revenant Gynos can take this. They will jump out of the very last place and be able to overtake them. So again, lots to play for. We're about halfway through the season, so yeah, just should be kind of heating up here a little bit. Teams really having to get on top of their comms communications to make sure they get to one of those top playoff spots will be important. Looks like we are all square though, so we can get you into the game. So now on Kings Row, it's going to be Revenant Gynos defending first on the left-hand side. Griffin going Tracer. You are Soul on Lucio. I'm Soldier 69. I still undecided. Fat Connor jumping on Mercy. Madman comboing with Farah. I'm Soldier now going Reinhardt. The other tank filling out Console Hulk on Zarya. For Revenant, Diva Horizon, who I don't think I've seen on stream, going Junkrat. Fatty Derp filling in on Zenyatta, plays pretty solid Zenyatta. We see him there pretty frequently. Can not lose on Reinhardt. Aiko Habakoro, it's I believe a new pickup for Revenant this week on Diva. Miss Reckless filling out support on Moira. Cepha also a pickup for them, I believe, going Tracer. So new look Revenant looking to get the win here in week 5 to start off their second half of the season. So yeah, should be a good contest. Not afraid to show the comp and jumping right up in front. Be friendly here from Revenant Gynos.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Do like Kings Row. This is the second hybrid we have this season so far. Eichenwald was week 1, and Revenant, like I said, played Daddyland week 1. I believe they lost in Eichenwald, if I'm not mistaken. I think they came back and won on Oasis, and then lost the third map, losing 2-1. But definitely a good showing from them. They came into a strong team and did okay on Eichenwald, but again, not quite getting the win there. But a chance to redeem themselves on hybrids on Kings Row. A little bit tentative coming out, maybe waiting on a couple. That splash damage from Farah through the main entrance will make it difficult for them without the shield tank. Now, Aiko on Diva should be able to eat a lot of those with the defense matrix, but hasn't just yet. Cepha already falling early, Madman getting the damage in, and Griffin adding one more on Diva Horizon. It's already a 4v6 for Revenant, trying to come into this attack. They may just back off and try and poke for ults while the remaining members respawn. Trying to get the pull there. You saw Cam Not Lose coming through, now switching off the Reinhardt to Roadhog. Not quite able to connect there, using some healing, but Griffin's being obnoxious in the back. And I believe we actually scrimmed Revenant Gynos earlier this week, And as a support player, Griffin was definitely quite pesky, so Batty Drip had his work cut out for him on that Zenyatta, getting clipped there, but able to get Tracer right back with a headshot. Solid Zenyatta play. And able to avoid that flanker. Now coming in with some aplomb, they've got the space, and now the coalescence coming out here from Miss Reckless. Perfectly timed, but now it's the Rocket Barrage trying to come the other direction. Ico able to eat that well with the defense matrix, and it's not going to cause them any problems. And now with Cannot Lose down, I'm Soldier 69 down on Reinhardt. They won't have the same kind of shield to keep off the damage. Ico now falling, though, could make it difficult for the attack, and I think the defenders will wrap up this point. Good pulse bomb from Griffin there on Miss Reckless, going in for that second support and maybe able to single clip, but gets pinned from range by Sefa, who's now switched to the Reinhardt to give them that shield they so need. And now triple tanking Zenyatta Moira. But the defender's doing well here. Console Hulk almost to a Graviton and to find a good opportunity to catch Revenant off guard. 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, and they'll have to be conscientious about how they engage this, and hopefully they're mindful of which ultimates have come out, because really could be set up here. But only 2 support ults, they may wait to use it until they have something they can combine it with a little bit better. Griffin about halfway to a pulse bomb, could earn that pretty quickly. And yeah, Matman about 70% to a Rocket Barrage. Good transcendence from Batty Derp to try and protect the team after the Shadow came through and connected with a few, but I think the defense still holding strong, sending Aiko out of the mech. Aiko? Not sure. And now trying to engage again. 4 ults for the defenders, only 2 for the attack. It's going to be difficult for them to really find space, especially now with that D.Va gone for them, but a good pull will take you into the kind of a deadly range, but it doesn't really pay for it, able to get away. Deadeye coming in from D.Va Horizon, trying to catch a couple, and Matman already fell there, able to get D.Va back, who I don't think was able to quite connect with the Deadeye, so difficult. But again, the defenders with 5 ults, they've got a lot to work with, and just over a minute on the clock for them means they've got a really good chance to take this if that D.Va bomb is contended with well. And it is walked away from I'm Soldier. Everybody else got to space, and one of the couple ults that the attackers had now goes down. Matman now falling means the attackers have the advantage with a long respawn for the defense, so hopefully they can push in a little bit and really try and create some good room. Back on now, popping the Valkyrie on Mercy. Both support ults coming out as Arsenal also goes with the sound barrier. Just trying to keep the defenders alive once more. Still 4 ults for them, but no support, no defensive ults, which could make it difficult, but not quite as you look in the feed. Griffin still cleaning up on Tracer and continuing to find the space. He's got another pulse bomb, looks to connect, but with 36 seconds, once again the defenders holding well. They use those 2 support ults, but they've still got 4 to work with, including a few they can combo. Console Hulk and Madman trying to get in a good spot. But you expect Griffin to go back with the pulse bomb, try and grab the supports, and really kind of hamstring the attack before they even get into space. Good pull from Cannot Lose will be influential, though. That could have been difficult should they have gotten the supports. Now I'm Soldier with the Shatter, grabs a couple of coalescence coming in from the attackers, and Batty Derp Transcendence just keeping the defenders or the defense at bay to some extent. But now as we close down into overtime, the Graviton comes out. They're not able to combine it because Pharah was out, just completely out of the game. Completely taken down there. The whole hog and the ultimate's coming out for the attackers, maybe able to clean up the defense. But yeah, not having Matman be able to combine with that Graviton definitely influential in helping Revenant continue to take that point in overtime. Now I think they will be able to cap this, and right here at the death, it's a good push from them. Again, surprised because of how many ults the defenders have, but they weren't able to get them off as quickly as they would have liked. And yeah, Griffin falling early without being able to use the pulse bomb, and Matman not being able to combine the Rocket Barrage with Console Hulk really, I think, kind of broke down that defense for them, and the attack was able to find space to get through. So now going into the streets phase, 2 minutes and 13 seconds. The time bank isn't ideal, but they do have room to work with. No reason to be too hasty, but now I'm Soldier on Reinhardt getting caught out a little bit, trying to chase down this Soldier and not able to mitigate the damage coming in from the attack. Good pull there from Cannot Lose, tries to catch Arzo once again, but won't quite connect. Matman coming in for the defense and knocking down Reckless, really trying to get the kills in to dig their heels into the streets phase after losing that first point. Really in pole position to do a full hold there, but couldn't quite connect. The sound barrier coming out won't save everyone. Sefa now falling as the Rocket Barrage from Matman comes through. It's a tactical visor on the other side, I believe. It's D.Va Horizon trying to find some space, but doesn't quite connect to the feet. And yeah, it's really kind of back and forth here in the center. The defense wrapping up, though, as the attack continues to poke damage through the center. Now getting a little bit of space, the attackers looking to continue pushing this payload through, but now in the back, Batty having to deal with Griffin once again, and does go down once more, and again, the trace will be difficult for them. We'll see how good the comms are, but now Griffin coming through, continuing to get the kills as some soldier comes through, swing with the hammer from the front, and the defenders continue to push Revenant back, a minute on the clock for them, and Eichel's able to get kind of a good position, at least somewhat safety, but without that mech, it could be tough for them to continue another engagement. Back to this same kind of situation, it's 5 ultimates in just a second as Batman picks up that rocket barrage. 5 ultimates for the defenders, Reddit Gynos, and the attack with 3, maybe 4 before it's all said and done, maybe in this next team fight. But it'll be important for the defense to use these well. The Shatter coming out now, catches 2, is able to pin there. The rocket barrage coming through doesn't quite do maybe as much as they want because Cepha still had a shield up, but did fall regardless. Now a good strong defensive push here, trying to get them out of the way. Back counter able to get the res onto Matman, and it's a pretty strong defense as we tick down underneath 20 seconds. A sound barrier from Lucio, URSL coming out, able to protect the team. And yeah, I don't know if Revenant can really push in as strong as it would have liked. The Coalescence could help them initiate as the defense starts to push back. Cepha charging in to continue contesting the payload, but a Valkyrie out from Fat Connor will keep the defenders alive. They start to fall here as Cepha and Fatty Derp both go down. Fat Connor rather, drops a bone matter for them. Round 1 finishes up, and a good streets phase defense for Reddit Gynos. Looking to come back on the other side and take the win. But yeah, I think a really good defense from them on the first section. Obviously, they held the first point to overtime, and then in the streets phase, they didn't allow Revenant rather to get the payload very far. So in a good spot here to take this first map win. We'll see if they're able to make that happen. But first of all, lost one here, so looking to get D.Va back into the game. Honestly, if you're going to drop out, there's a perfect time to do it halfway through the point. But as predicted, Griffin pesky in the back, really causing problems for those supports, and I think the peel could be a little bit better for Revenant to be able to kind of deal with that. It's definitely going to be an issue for them. You see them kind of picking, and Griffin did come out with D.Va. I don't know if that's going to stick or not, but if that's the case, that may be one they won't have to worry about. But remains to be seen. For those of you that don't know, it's a 3-minute pause for player dropping. Teams get 1 minute one pause up to 3 minutes to allow them to come back in. Substitutions, I believe, can be made at this point between switching offense and defense, should it be necessary. So we'll make sure that's not the case. But hopefully we can get D.Va back in so it's not. But I'll check with the captains and be right back with you guys. Alright, able to reconnect. Sorry about that delay, but I appreciate your patience. Make sure D.Va can get back into the game. We'll kick it back off here. But again, looking good so far. The loser of this map will pick the second one. We see a lot of control points come out there, and notably this week, a lot of Nepal picks. Interestingly enough, I think we saw a one Lijiang in the Squaw game they played last night against Ryan's Rejects. But most of the games, I believe, have been Nepal. So that could be an option. See what they come out with. And again, we don't know too much about Reddit Gynos having really just come into the league, but impressing so far with that initial defense. And we should be able to start the game back up here. Sure, everybody's back in. And as the comps start to shape up here for the defenders, D.Va just came back to join us, maybe going Bastion. Maiko's still going D.Va, Miss Reckless on Moira. Where's the comp still trying to figure it out? For the attackers, Griffin maybe going Widow, try and get that early pick. That can be so influential, especially given how far they have to go. Hello, tree. Also looking to... That cannot be a Smash pick. I don't see a Smash Torb attack coming out. That sounds outrageous. Cannot lose on Reinhardt. And yeah, still trying to decide the rest of the comp. Quite figured it out just yet, but a lot of time to do so. Quick announcements, guys. If you would like to participate in the free-for-all tournament on February the 17th, you can sign up on the website, OWXL.com. And I believe in the Captains tab is the free-for-all tournament, or you can just go to OWXL.com/FFA. That has all that information for you.
Attackers incoming.
I think there's links in the announcement channel in Discord as well if you haven't got to that. This should be a lot of fun. It's going to be all on the same day, so make sure you're available on the 17th. And got some awesome prizes for you guys. And should be a good time. Open to league and non-league members as well. But it is Griffin looking to get the pick on Widow early. Or switch and tracer. Maybe they won't give him anything to work with. So the defense maybe sitting back a little bit further, but it looks like maybe they would have had an opportunity, especially D.Va here on the Bastion without a soldier, or without a shield tank rather, could have gotten picked off pretty early there, and that would have been a strong kill. There's Seppa back in the or cannot lose rather on the shield tank. But a charge coming in will take them both out. I think Bastion in a tough spot. D.Va Horizon does fall. 2 members of the attack go down though, but they do have a shorter response that could be in a better spot. Icono out of Meg makes it difficult as Sepha falls on Anna. Both healers down as Reckless falls. And I really do think that Revenant Gynos have the advantage here. Came out losing a tough spot, getting surrounded finally, may get focused down, but not before getting a good pin on Console Hulk. Doesn't quite connect as he falls before actually able to finish that pin. And yeah, 40 seconds off the clock, and it's Revenant Gynos with the point, looking to continue pushing, and you see how far they have to go. Not at all. And especially with Griffin on this Tracer, just terrorizing the back, trying to keep them in the spawn. A really strong attack from them so far. It's really aggressive. Another deep pin from Cannot Lose. Gets surrounded once more and falls. Console Hulk able to get the better from there with the final kill. Damage coming in from all sides. D.Va Horizon able to mow down Griffin, who thought maybe single clip that Bastion. Didn't quite have the opportunity there. And Revenant Gynos still pushing though. Looking at ultimates, they have 3, close to, they could very well have 6 by the time this fight really gets into the thick of it. And Revenant with a couple of their own that could prove useful, including the tank mode from D.Va Horizon, able to grab 2, and really kind of cleaning up. Coalescence could come out from Reckless as well, and I think that actually is Revenant able to tidy up the defenders and at least be able to hold this Street's face for a little while. But it's 4 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock for Gynos as they come in, and again, they don't have that much further to go, so we'll see if they can continue this defense. To get Bastion some space here, looking directly at the payload. Reckless not behind that shield could find themselves in a tough spot. Batman now falling for the attackers means the defenders will have the advantage once more, but a good pulse bump in from behind could make it difficult. Catches 1 actually. I thought maybe could have pushed in a little bit further for that pulse bump, got a couple more, but does grab the 1 and still trying to push back in, but Griffin I think by himself and the Revenant, the defenders, hold on once more. Not surprised. That push, but the Revenant Gynos still have a few ultimates they can use. They didn't commit too many there, but still a couple for the defenders as well, including the Shatter and the that D.Va self-destruct. Coming back in for another attack with that short respawn, they'll have a lot of chances at this. Sound barrier from Fat Connor coming in, and now the zoning ult from I think Ico coming out doesn't quite connect though. Fat Connor's able to pick up Reckless. The payload just right outside this capture point, and the fight really breaking out for them. But now the kill's going the way of Revenant Gynos as they get a double with the tactical visor from Batman. A good shatter from Cannot Lose, but not quite able to connect as he does fall there. I think he caught maybe 3 or 4, but they couldn't quite clean it up. And Revenant Gynos just need to get these last final kills. I think you're able to wrap it up here. It's a good win from them.
Play of the game.
It was a solid tank mode that really did shut down the attack from Revenant Gynos as they came into this first section. Really, they had a few also work that could have made it difficult with the tank mode there from D.Va Horizon, shutting that down, and took them a couple times to get all the way through. But did get the win, and a good first round for them. We'll get the map pick from Revenant after this short break. Welcome back to the first of this Friday night doubleheader between Gynos and Revenant from the rival tier. A lot of R's, a lot of V's. But Gynos taking the first win on Kings Row. A quick pick from Revenant was Hanamura, not like the atypical pick. Not a lot of people like 2CP, so it could be kind of the difference maker for them. I don't think any substitutions coming in either, but I think it's Gynos. Should switch this up. I think they defended first last time, so make sure that is all evened up. But yeah, again, it was just a solid push from Gynos. Good defense from them after really kind of shutting down Revenant's attack. They didn't have to go very far in that second round, and were able to get right inside that Streets phase and wrap that up. Again, this is a team that is just coming into the league, replacing a team that was dropped due to forfeiture. And yeah, proving they can hang here in the league and doing well against a 2-2 team. Revenant right there in the middle of things. Switch to Hanamura. And again, like I said, this is a doubleheader. The game after this, Desert Legion Gaming versus Drunken Shimada Clan from the Challenger tier. I think they're both actually 2-2, so that'll be a good game as well. Both trying to keep climbing that Challenger tier. Squaw, who was undefeated, lost last night. Huge upset to Ryan's Rejects. And so yeah, now it's kind of wide open for them. So hopefully DLG and DSC can get at it, so that'll be right after this game. Definitely stick around for that. But I'll get the readies from both captains, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, we are back on Hanamura, ready for the second game of the 3-game series where Gynos up 1-0, looking to take down Revenant at 2-2, and Gynos looking for the first win of the season, so it'll be important to get that here. This is Revenant's map pick, coming out with Hanamura, and like I said, you don't see a lot of 2CPs come out in these games. Generally speaking, people try and avoid them at all costs, but a good atypical pick really could turn the tide for them and allow them to get back into the game and force that third round to try and take it here. But Gynos definitely will not make it easy. So now coming out for the defenders, this time Revenant in blue. Fatty Derp again on Zenyatta, Diva Horizon. Going with the Bastion. Cam not lose on Reinhardt. Ico Habakoro instead going Mei over the Diva on King's Robe. It's Reckless again on Moira. Sepha filling out a second tank on Orisa. Nice double shield barrier for Diva Horizon on the Bastion could definitely be a good approach for them. And the kind of off tank ish from Ico and Mei also helpful. For the attackers, Griffin here on Winston. Reddit Gynos, URSOL on Lucio. I'm Soldier 69 going Reinhardt. It's a quad tank. It's Fat Connor and Madman go Zarya and Roadhog respectively. Actually, 5 tanks. Console Hulk on Diva. 5 tank Lucio, and I that's just reading across, didn't realize, but I'm really excited to see how this turns out for them. Definitely not a comp we're used to seeing, but they could just plow straight through. They're going to do exactly that with the push from Lucio, but could get walled off. Actually, I don't know if anybody got. I think they did get everybody through, and a good push from them. Kill swapping either side as Reckless is able to pick one up. Diva Horizon falls. Sepha falls as well, and really things starting to go the way of Reddit Gynos. I think they may have space in the point to make this happen. Now, as I say that, now it's the defenders really cleaning up. I think it's just a couple members of Gynos still up as Revenant really makes them pay for that. The Shatter coming through very quickly. Madman falls. Diva out of mech. That will wrap it up. Solid takedown there from Revenant. Maybe caught a little bit off guard. The Mei wall didn't quite catch as many off. They came through a little bit faster than I think they expected, but able to clean up their kills well. And a good defense from Revenant to start this game. Now Gynos try the quad tank, didn't quite work. Switching up to a more standard here with 2 supports. 222. I'm Soldier 69 on Reinhardt. Console Hulk on Diva. But Soldier will get melted down. The Bash a little bit too much of Diva Horizon, but the self-destruct coming through, negated mostly by the Mei wall, but they were able to get Diva Horizon beforehand, and the attack might still continue trying to push this. Fat Connor looks for an opportunity to get a cheeky res in, and is able to get Soldier back into the fights. They won't have to worry about not having that tank. As Fatty Derp falls there in the back, it's a 6v5, but Reckless trying to keep things alive for the defense with the Coalescence. They take a couple down, but hasn't found anything just yet. I still think maybe the defenders have the advantage. The attack's really starting to push on them pretty hard. A good shatter from I'm Soldier will swing on a couple. And yeah, that'll be it for Reddit Gynos. That quad tank didn't quite work, responded well to it, changed their comp, came in quickly, and 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock as they wrap up this initial attack. 6 minutes now to go and attack B. And a pretty good push from them. Again, just adapting well to the fact that comp didn't quite work. They were able to get through the choke pretty easily with the quad tank, couldn't clean up the kills. And switching their comp, able to get through pretty easily. But now they'll have to deal with ultimates on the defensive side now with Ico on the Sombra. Good map for Sombra with so many health packs in and around the point. But it's 2 ultimates now, almost 3 as Cannot Lose will get the shadow here in a second, but now 2 of them, both of them falling immediately means they won't have those rests available. Still, the Transcendence here from Fatty Derp could be helpful as the sound barrier comes in from Arsenal to try and keep Gynos alive as they come in with this aggressive attack. Here's the Transcendence now, just trying to keep those 2 supports alive as the rest of the team trickles back in. Percentage starting to earn, but nothing sticking just yet. It's a Valkyrie from Connor, trying to keep everybody in the point and alive. The Rocket Barrage from Madman will take down Diva Horizon, who's starting to get a little bit of damage in, and a good pin from Soldier will make it difficult. It's another self-destruct here, and yeah, I think things are just kind of going Reddit Gynos' way. They're really starting to take solid control at this point. Late Shatter here catches Sombra. They've got 1 tick. The contest coming back in from the supports. That's definitely not who you want contesting in that position. Diva Horizon on Junkrat sitting on the back, but not contesting at all, and the second tick goes. Falls immediately. They keep trying to contest, but it's 88% gone here for Reddit Gynos, sitting in a good spot as those tanks come back in. Ico coming in, has the EMP, could use it here to really swing inside of this fight. Doesn't get a chance though, loses it. And I think as they wrap up the rest of these kills, it'll be a really solid first round push for Reddit Gynos. 44-45 on the clock. Critical though, that EMP looming for Ico, not quite able to get it off. Trying to get into the point before those tanks fell, but yeah, Reinhardt, Diva both dropped. EMP stayed in the pocket. And it'll be, we'll see what the defense from Reddit Gynos has. It was a pretty good defense from them on King's Row, so we'll see if they can do something similar here. Obviously a different kind of structure, but you want to chew up as much time on that clock as possible if you're the defending team for the attack with how well this attacking first point favors them, the respawn. So it'll be important now for Revenant to come out swinging, just like Gynos did, and try and take this point early and have a lot of time. We could go into multiple rounds here. Now the attackers coming out with their comp. Diva Rising going Pharah early. Cam not lose on Roadhog. I think we saw that switch early on Kings Row before Sepha made the change to Reinhardt. But Ico now back on the familiar Diva. Reckless once again on Moira. The rest still deciding.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
For the defenders, Griffin on Tracer. Urzol on Lucio. I'm Soldier 69 going Orisa. Fat Connor gun on Mercy and got an opportunity to really get some well-placed reses. That's a solid play right there. Able to find some room, and I think Gynos, it's a good pickup from them. Madman going Pharah, Console Hulk on Roadhog. We're going to get some space in early, but it'll be a difficult loss for them as Madman is able to get the pick on the Reckless playing Moira. It looks like the attackers will go in regardless, trying to use that shield to their advantage, but it could be a difficult push. Riven in behind will get pulled there by Cam not lose. That could be encouraging with short respawn for the attackers. And as defense maybe backs off the choke just a little bit, they may try and push. That. Now there's a couple kills now going the way of Gynos. Both tanks down now for those attackers, and yeah, they'll have to retreat here.
Hello.
Is a triple tank setup for Revenant. Fatty Drip to Lucio, and then using that second support as well, but they still have Diva, Cam not lose, and Ico all on tanks. And actually quad tanking now as Steph is also on Roadhog. So yeah, now the Zarya switch, I guess, I have a little bit to go from Pharah for Diva Horizon, now trying to get through with the same kind of aplomb, but I think Gynos might be privy to it and ready for it. The supercharge now coming out here from I'm Soldier, which is continue to keep them alive, but it's Cam not lose a whole hog, trying to get Fat Connor up in the air. I don't know if we'll quite connect, but the coalescence here from Miss Reckless could help Revenant continue this push. And they've already started earning some percentage on the point, not a tick yet as the sound barrier comes out from Arsenal, but really trying to find some room. A rocket brush from Madman does connect with Cam not lose, and not having that tank will make it difficult, but they do have 2 on the point still. I think they may be able to push back the rest of Gynos. Yeah, that's a good push from them. Able to really start earning some percentage. Griffin's still trying to be bothersome, and definitely not over yet from them. The self-destruct coming up here from Ico, trying to connect with a couple. Madman does get caught out through the opening there as Revenant starts to wrap up the kills. I think it's still a stagger from Gynos, and finally, as they knock down those last straggling defenders, they earn some sticking percentage on the point. They should wrap this up with just under 2 minutes on the clock. No ultimates, but maybe 2 on the horizon here for both tanks. I'm Soldier and Console Hulk for the defenders, Gynos. But for the attack, the Graviton from Diva Horizon could combine here with Miss Reckless's Coalescence in about 5% or so. Sepha with the Shatter could initiate as well. And they come directly into point, trying to get some percentage early. The defense, Gynos holding up on the high ground, trying to jump them as they come in, did just that, but it may not pan out. Ico now falling here for Revenant. And actually the kills he got going for the defense, able to maybe wrap this up as Fatty Derb comes in on Fat Connor. It's a big pick for them with as influential as that Mercy's been. But I'm Soldier with a maybe kind of a wayward pin into the fray, is able to catch Miss Reckless. I think Gynos may be able to clean up here. Now as I say that, Ico and Cam not lose really putting in a good contention. Now Cam not lose falling as Ico's the only one remaining and may have to jump out of mech. Could get staggered here, but it will be Gynos just wrapping up immediately. And a good defensive hold from them. That will guarantee that Revenant won't have as much time on the clock should they cap B, as they're about 2 seconds away from dropping under the 445 Gynos earned on the first round. But it could be a Diva Horizon Graviton, Cam not lose whole hog combination here on the point. They'll be conscientious of the dive coming in from Gynos, and they are able to get a tech. It's like the defenders didn't come into the point as quickly as they probably would have liked. A good shot here from Sepha, gets I'm Soldier off of him, and he goes into swing, starts getting those kills. But now it's Gynos coming back, Griffin grabbing a couple, Madman adding a double of his own, and the defenders start to fall. It's only tanks left on the point. Cam not lose. The last remaining representative tries to pull his opponent. Console Hulk, but takes the damage instead, and it's another good hold for Gynos. A lot of ultimates coming out for the attack now, though. You've got the 2 already, and 3 people in the 90% range, so Definitely, they'll be encouraged to use those well. Just one support defensive ult from the Lucio on the other side. And Revenant really doesn't want to commit too many here. They really don't need to if they've been keeping track of their opponent's ultimates. But as they come back into the point for now a third time, looking to get the damage in. The defense on the high ground, trying to dive them once more. The self-destruct coming out from Gynos, again, doesn't quite connect, but Reckless going to the Coalescence can't really make the most of it as he does get pulled there and completely taken out by Console Hulk. Now Console Hulk coming in with the whole hog, trying to catch a couple, and both supports now for the defense down, so that'll be encouraging for the attackers. They have 2 ticks now, looking to get the rest of that percentage. And may be able to do it here. They start to clean up a couple more, but Griffin's still being difficult. Arsenal comes in with Sound Barrier, and that could be critical for them. Soldier coming through as well. The Graviton catching a couple. No damage to follow up as Griffin's the only one that falls. Madman now with the Tactical Visor able to grab that Zarya, and the defenders really start to stream back onto the point. I think that'll be another good hold from them, and it looked dicey for a second, but able to hold on as long as possible. A few ultimates coming out, and able to clean that up. And Revenant, though, on the other hand, Sepha, the only one with an ultimate left, as I believe they used all 5 in that last attack, but weren't quite able to get through. Crucially, though, it was Reckless's Coalescence. Ico tried to use the self-destruct and didn't quite connect. Reckless used the Coalescence, but dropped immediately via a pull from Console Hulk. So they just were trying to use the ultimates there, but they couldn't quite connect, so they had to invest more, and I think it was just a good hold from the defenders. But now as they come in through the high ground, D.Va Horizon able to grab a kill early on a shield tank. That'll be huge for them, as Griffin connects with the Pulse Bomb on the support. Fatty Derp now playing Lucio. Revenant's just a little bit more tentative, I think, than they had before. They're coming in high ground now that they tried main a couple times and didn't pan out. This time really seems to be working for them, though, getting back onto the point, 2 minutes on the clock as they wrap up round 2. Bit of a back cap almost, really pushed the defense down that staircase, but only needed a single tick more to cap that point. And now in a time disadvantage, but you made it to round 3, and I think that's important because a lot can happen here. You have a better idea of what your opponent is going to run, and Revenant having just attacked, I believe now attacking in this 3rd round. So we'll get to see the pretty much the same thing again, but it'll be interesting to see how they change up the comps to adapt to those first 2 rounds, having seen their opponents once more. So coming out immediately, just 40 seconds on the clock to decide, and for the attackers, D.Va Horizon again going Junkrat was able to get a crucial pick onto I believe it was Console Hulk, or their Revenant player on Soldier 69 perhaps up at the top. That was a critical pick for them and helped them push in that last section right before the end of the map. Right before the end of the round, rather. Came out lose, now going Reaper. Ico going D.Va, Miss Reckless on Mercy now. I think that's a good switch off the Moira. The back Connor Mercy for the other side was going to make it difficult without a Mercy on your own. I know that she's been nerfed kind of directly into the ground, but still has a lot of healing per second, even without the res being as prevalent, so that'll be an important change to make sure they have that kind of in the back pocket. For the defenders, Griffin once again on Tracer, looking to get in behind. Arzo on the Lucio. I'm Soldier on Orisa, Pat Connor on Mercy, Madman still on Farrah, Console Hulk on Roadhog. Defending the high ground here, I like this approach from them, but a lot of damage from Revenant could break that shield down. As they try and go around the side, though, immediately following D.Va Horizon as Reckless, meeting their demise as Reddit Gynos defense jumps down on top of them. Madman, the only one dropping for the defenders, so Sevic can add one back, but then dropping there means they may have to give up on this attack. They've got definitely time to come back in and time to earn some ultimates as well, so no reason to be too hasty about this. But you see Griffin already 63% to a Pulse Bomb, and we'll want to try and build that quickly and disrupt subsequent attacks. They won't have many more opportunities to attack this point A, so Griffin knows he can be a catalyst here. D.Va Horizon for the attack now, switching to Bastion. This is an interesting pick as Cam Not Lose goes over to the Mei. Maybe looking to wall off that high ground to prevent them from really having the space to get through as they push on the point. Obviously in round 3, just a tick is crucial. It'll be important for them to be able to connect or stay on point long enough to do that. But now Griffin quietly up to 80% is able to get in behind the attackers. And a Rocket Rush coming from Madman, though, as the fight starts to break out, able to pick up D.Va Horizon. That's a big pick for the defense. Madman adding another one on Sepha, and there's only 4 members of Revenant. The attacker's trying to get into point. 30 seconds on the clock, and Reckless able to get 1 res back onto one of those tanks, but I think they still may have lost this push, and they have time to regroup and try another 6. That is a really good isolation there from Cannot Lose on Soldier, not quite able to get the kill, and could be in a tough spot without a shield in front of him. A supercharger coming in from that Orisa. Soldier looking to keep the defense bolstered, but the Mei will prevent a lot of the damage coming through. However, they only have 5 seconds to get on the clock, so they really need to be assertive if they want to. Yeah, and they are able to come around the back, find a little bit of space, and it's Miss Reckless in Valkyrie, I believe, just looking to continue to contest and keep the team alive. But finally does drop there as Madman comes in with the damage from the barrage. Overtime meter starts to tick down, and it's going to be a full hold for Reddit Gynos. So not much further to go now. Just a tick for Reddit Gynos, but it could be a strong defense from Revenant. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock, though. Not a lot of time to work with, or rather too much time for the defenders to try and defend that, especially through a couple ultimate fights that could be really difficult to do, especially with as aggressive attacks we've seen Reddit Gynos have throughout this game. So, just really need to set up for the defense of their lives, so to speak. I expect maybe one more tank, but maybe not with Fatty Derp on the Zenyatta, not much healing to be able to crank out. Cannot Lose now going Reinhardt and Ico on D.Va. Those two tanks, D.Va looking to get Horizon looking to get a lot of the damage through on Junkrat. Seth is still undecided, but has played tank a few times in this game, so they may try and triple. Oh, but actually going Bastion, maybe shutting down that attack before it has some room to get in. Madman on Genji on the other side, plus the defense matrix from Console Hulk could make it tough.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now for the attack, Griffin on that Tracer once more. Garso on Lucio. Soldier now switching to Winston. Fat Connor going off the Mercy to Zenyatta. Madman on Genji, Console Hulk on D.Va. And again, they only need a tick, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. It's a quick push from them, no time to deliberate at the point as the fight really starts to break out. I think they're disrupting this defense to some extent, but Ico's able to get the kill on Griffin, which could be crucial for them. Soldier answers one back on the support of their own, and now D.Va Horizon picks up a neat double, including Console Hulk's mech, to end that push. It's been a really strong defense from Revenant, and they've got a long way to go, but they'll take a lot of positives from that initial engagement. Now back at the choke, not pushing quite as quickly as they were. The shield up, but it's going to deteriorate pretty quickly with the Bastion in from the back. D.Va Horizon very close to an ultimate for the attackers, so they could have that to disrupt, or for the defenders rather, so could use that to disrupt here pretty quickly. Does do that right there as a few supports and a few members of Reddit Gynos go down, and Revenant looking like a completely different team on this defense. So now over a minute off the clock. Still have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to continue this hold. They've been impressive so far. They've been able to use an ultimate D.Va Horizon, earning that Junkrat tire, the Rip tire, very quickly. Seth is so close to a tank mode, Fatty over the Transcendence, to try and mitigate a lot of damage. And Revenant sitting in a pretty good position. They don't have to deal with the pulse bomb just yet. Maybe not that they can know that, but as Reddit Gynos comes in to engage once more, the fight again breaking out all over the place. So Reinhardt's really swinging it back and forth on each other. And now it's going to be Fat Connor coming in with the Transcendence to try and keep his team members alive. Really kind of swapping either side. Self-destruct coming out here, and Fatty Derp's Transcendence to try and answer and continue keeping Revenant strong on the point. The attack starts to commit, but Seva coming in with the tank mode is able to grab one, looks for a second, gets it on Soldier, and again it's a strong defense from Revenant. Fat Connor and Zenyatta and Madman are the only ones left, but I think they will get wrapped up here. Griffin tries to come back in, died early in that fight, and now coming back on Tracer to try and continue the disruption. Again, they just need to clean up and get a tick, and they have a shorter respawn, so the longer they're able to stall and continue getting damage from these defenders, the better chance they have of being able to grab this outright. Ico gets out of mech with a good pulse bomb from Griffin. I like the use of the pulse bomb there. Now that pilot falls, it's most of the attack on the point. I think if they wrap up D.Va Horizon, they could be able to take this tick. And I think that may do it right there. Nobody able to come back in and contest. What a win for Reddit Gynos. Coming in the first win of the season and dropping off the bottom of the table. D.Va Horizon once again with the play of the game on the losing team, or on the winning team this time, able to get good damage on Junkrat, and find some spacing behind. I think that was while they did that upper attack, and then we were able to pivot around a point. But solid game there. Good stuff from them. You know what? I think that my display maybe backwards there, but it was a Reddit Gynos win. And yeah, congratulations to them getting that. We'll get some post-game thoughts and look ahead to week 6 when we come back. So what a win for Reddit Gynos. Able to move up off the bottom of the table, getting a good solid 2 map wins there, and now moving up to 1-4, 2 points on the table, dropping Beats by Lucio into 10th place. But a good win from them. Again, like I said, that 0-4 record not really indicative of their ability, losing in week 4 to Daddyland, but now 1-1 in games played, give them to sit at the bottom. So they've got the rest of the season to come back and try and level things out with the rest of the tier. Revenant, on the other hand, in 5th place, now dropping to 2-3 with 6 points. So they'll try and bounce back in week 6. They'll be facing against Spicy Boys, who are also who are coming off a really strong win over, I believe that was Daddyland in the game on Monday. So that'll be a challenge for them. But yeah, just looking to get back in the saddle. However, for Reddit Gynos, facing bottom of the table Beats by Lucio should be another game for them to continue that momentum, or Beats by Lucio trying to get off the finally get in the win column up against Winky Face in week 5, which could prove difficult. That team's still undefeated. But yeah, so definitely a interesting matchup. Like I said, won't be casting it because I'll be playing in it. Some support for Beats by Lucio, and it's devastating. That's alright. Bounce back. Guess we'll see. But yeah, I think we've got a second game for you coming up from the Challenger tier. It's DLG versus DSC. And excited to bring that to you as well. So we'll get both those teams in the lobby, and yeah, get you bring you a second game of it's a Friday night doubleheader. But I do appreciate you guys watching. Stick around. Stick around for a second, and we will be back with that. But for the time being, for Rival Tier and the OWXL League, I'm SaltyPepper, and we will see you next time.